What up, world? This your boy Sky, broadcasting live, going on a nature walk. You know what I mean? Just woke up again, and that's another thing. I'm always consistent with my sleep, with sleep in general. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody else is doing. Whatever your sleeping pattern, I don't care. I'm doing what works best personally, and I love to get at least, you know, a good 8 hours or so. You know what I'm saying? Because you're cleansing. Ooh, someone spilled a bunch of dog food. You're cleansing like your brain when you're asleep, draining it of like toxins. You know what I'm saying? That's been accumulating for so many years. So that's personally what's been working best for me. I just been naturally following my circadian rhythm. You know, just what makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just gotta let go of overthinking so much and just like listen to your body. And I'm not talking about what y'all thinking of. I mean, it can be like that too if you want to get all sexual or whatever. But it's not even about that. I'm talking about just listening to your own body, like your circadian rhythm, like to go to sleep, to wake up, to eat, to fast, stuff like that. Like listening to your internal dialect and whatnot. So that's something I noticed that's been helping me personally. And to stop caring what people think, you know, because when you're coming out of a truthful, honest, genuine space in your heart, like I am, then you have no fears. You know what I'm saying? You understand, obviously, extremes. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean like, oh, I'm going to just, cause havoc or whatever. Nah. There's a quote that says, true wisdom is knowing one's full extent of one's own ignorance or stupidity or whatever. And that's true, I'm actually grateful to have been through some extreme tests to see how stupid I can be, with anger, with rage, with fear, with all that stuff, to realize to prevent that from ever happening again. And I feel like it was necessary because, different people experience it different ways. And I'm grateful to be wise enough that, I'm still here standing. None of these people that y'all support, or not even support, but these, you know, people that people idolize, you know, they're not even out here, is what I'm saying. Like there's a saying that says vampires only come out at night. And it's true, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that a lot. I have been noticing that ever since birth, ever since day one, I would be like, something's going on, you know what I'm saying? Because I always loved being out in the sun. I was like, yeah, let's be happy, let's smile, be down to earth. But then it seemed like everybody always was complaining, oh, it's too hot, oh, it's too hot, oh, it's gonna hurt our skin, just complaints over and over again. And at first, I wanted to think that they were just joking around, just kidding. But honestly, the world literally is sick. Like, it literally is insane. Like, the truth is there. You know what I'm saying? It just took me a while to understand that, Not all of it, but just the mass part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, I'm shocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at all the garbage right there. Whatever. That's all I'm saying. Maybe some of this will touch down with some people at the right time. Maybe some people will realize when it's too late, when I'm way off on another planet or something. But I remember I said in a few of my videos, I was like, imagine the world just being quiet. Like, imagine a world where, there's not so much traffic. Like here, I love just walking around my apartment complex. It's nice and quiet, for the most part, everybody's inside, and that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as I step out in these streets, like further down the streets, like the busy streets, like when I leave this complex, and it gets to the busy streets, the main streets, boom, guess what? Millions of cars, well, not millions of cars, but like thousands, hundreds of thousands of cars, driving, rushing, racing, beeping horns, You know, looking to the left, looking to the right, look, you know, like just stressed out. You can feel the vibe for real. Like people be honking for no reason sometimes. You know, we all know what it's like for real. Accidents, you know, police, firefight. It's just like it be feeling like World War VI when you driving sometimes for real. Like I pray for the day where I just can drive a nice smooth trail out on the countryside in nature, you know. And I have done that. I have experience with that as well. I gotta find a way out there again or whatever. I'm grateful for where I am now. It's just, you know, this city stuff is just over the top for real. I even talked about too in one of my videos. I'm like, imagine a world where it just comes to a standstill. I'm not talking about no depressive stuff. I'm not talking about no, you know, Christmas holidays or Thanksgiving. Nah, none of that. I'm talking about people taking responsibility for their own internal natural condition. You know, that's what I'm talking about, where they realize what they've done with the environment, what they like, just, you know what I'm saying? Just the simple stuff. I was like, imagine the streets not having a whole bunch of traffic constantly. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can walk past a squirrel while the squirrel is just chilling like that. For real. You see? Like that. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. Most people's footsteps are so loud that the animals are scared of them. I remember I saw an Instagram video and it was a big gorilla in the forest, you know, and all these tourists, you can tell the vibe. The gorilla's just trying to walk away, like it's just, you know, galloping away, you know, slowly, you know, and the tourists just keep creeping up, following it, and it's trying to take pictures and just harassing. You can tell by the energy, you know. But I was saying about the cars, I was like, man, imagine one day where, guess what? No cars on the road at all, whatsoever. And I'm not talking about no Christmas. That's man-made bull crap. I'm not talking about no any of this other stuff. I'm talking about where people are like, wow, okay, look. They can actually accept that they've been uh, toxic. They can accept that how they've polluted the environment. You know, how they've been living a lie, selling their souls in jobs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know I'll be getting the high notes, the low notes, and the medium notes, but it'd be true. All this stuff. You know, but I was just saying, imagine a world where ain't no type of cars driving around. You know, where it's just chill. You know, once you go vegan, you're not going back, and you realize how little you actually need. You know, you can go days without eating. Of course, I'm not telling nobody to starve themselves, but I'm just sharing that information. You know, you can do. People are different. You can do whatever with that information. Just it's cool to be mindful of it because it propels you in the long run for it. You know what I'm saying? When you have children, when you have a group of, you know, of like you're maybe a head coach finally, and you have your son and all the other parents, children there too, and you know, you're in a new stage of your life. You're older and everything, and you're mindful. Like, oh, okay, you're not gonna pass out and die if you didn't eat for the whole day, especially if you're morbidly obese and you complaining about not eating nothing for not having 4 meals, but you only had 2 meals, something like that. Nah, you know, just eat healthy, eat well. That's what I recommend, you know, and just go with what your body tells you from then on. That's all I'll say. Because I'm aware we can go a while without eating, and we can just drink juices, herbs, stuff like that, smoothies, you know. It's just, you gotta cater it towards you personally, you know. If you're working out, if you're gonna do a bunch of marathons and stuff, then obviously you're gonna need some nourishment. And that's another thing, it's the difference between food and nourishment. Nourishment is actually what gives your body minerals that you need. Food is just junk substance, like starches, refined white sugar, processed table salt, you know, stuff like that that just robs our body of energy, literally, of cells, of nutrition, of nourishment, you know. But yeah, I was saying, man, imagine a world without all these flying cars. Because when you finally go vegan, going vegan is like the best choice you'll ever make, for real. Real talk. And I'm only 2.5 years into this journey. I'm excited for real. Because this is how I learn. This is fun for me. I feel like God gave us a test. I feel like for the first 20 years, God's like, okay, learning these schools. You know, see if you like learning these little man-made schools where they tell you what to do, where you doing these worksheets and homeworks and all this stuff that you know is boring. Or, and see how that is. And then also, you'll have a second calling to see if you want to live, you know, out in nature or experience, learn more about nature. You know, have that type of experience. And that's basically where I'm at, where I'm headed to. And that's that, you know. Imagine a world without these loud, extremely loud air conditioning generators, you know. I smell it too. They emit something. I don't know. But I was just saying, imagine a world where there ain't no cars driving anywhere. I'm talking about on the highway. I'm talking about on the streets. I'm not talking about no construction. I'm not talking about no Christmas. I'm not talking about no snow day. I'm just talking about a day where finally y'all slow down and y'all shut up and y'all actually listen and just stop. You know? That's what I'm talking about. And understand where I'm coming from and where some other people are coming from as well. This is life-changing information here. And some of these realizations I be getting, like, are almost unexplainable. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how deep sometimes life can get. When you can start to connect the dots for certain things and, like, you realize certain things, you see certain things, and it's just, like, unexplainable. Like, you can explain it, but it'll take, like, a long time. And just like they said, the truth can't be told, it has to be realized. It's really both, you know. Obviously, we can speak our truth, and that helps, you know, but, like, the other part helps, too. It's a combination, but mainly also fully experiencing it and realizing with your own eyes, too, you know, like, internally. You know what I'm saying? This is life, you know what I'm saying? And, like, it was just a shocker for me to see this, like, there's actual grown people in their 40s, 50s, 60s asking people in their 30s or even younger for, like, guidance of how just to be a man or be a woman, you know, how to raise their son, you know what I'm saying, how to perform sexually with their wife or their husband. You know, this is some real talk for real. This is real talk. You know, it's a trade-off. Some people, they think, oh, you know what, I need to go buy a corporate shirt, you know, with the tie and button up and some pants, some slacks, you know, and do that every day for the rest of life. Are you kidding me? For me, that's a no-no. For me, that is a no-no. That's what this whole vegan thing also does. It helps us slow down, too, because it's like, wow, I'm super young, and I know I came here to live a long life. So therefore, at least if I'm looking to see another 70, 80 years, 90 years to make it past 100, you know what I'm saying? Man, I gotta be doing something I love and be knowing myself. You know what I'm saying? I know for sure being stuck in some contract job where it's just extremely cold in there literally because the people are cold, they ain't got no soul of all sorts, they ain't got no soul. It's literally cold because they got the AC on at like 40 degrees, feels like Antarctica, all the radiation from the computer screens, you know, and you just locked in a box, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to do that in their natural mind. So that's not for me at all. But like I was saying about the car thing, imagine that. Imagine that. When you finally chill out, you start meditating, you start going vegan, plant-based, you know, you're out in the sun more, this and that, like it helps out so much because then you're like, wow, you really don't even need much at all. You don't need anything except water. You know, that's deep, but it's true. Obviously, fruits and everything helps out too, but I'm just saying that the most extreme state, you know, if the whole world truly was super woke and high and, like, you know, on the same page, people will see that. People will see that. And of course, I'm a big supporter and advocate for all fruits and vegetables and herbs and spices, all natural life. You know, that you start seeing like, wow, why am I trying to drive all the time? Or why am I trying to be stuck in traffic? When I see people stuck in traffic, I always go on the outskirts of it. I go to another way when I see a massive blockage of traffic. On the highways, I always go another way, where nobody's going. I go on the side road, the service road, or I take another route. I'm like, who on their right mind why would you want to even choose to sit in traffic like that? Why? Why? It don't make no sense. Why? Why? I get it sometimes here and there, road trips or whatever, there may literally be nowhere else to go, except like crossing across the grass into another side of the highway to go the opposite direction. Sometimes I get it, I'm talking about for the most part, especially if you're in a big city, there's plentiful places to go around to avoid that and to get around that somehow, some way. But like I was saying about the traffic stuff, you know how much fumes and gas is emitted from every car? A lot. And that's harming the environment, the atmosphere, our own health. We, you know, for real. And like, and just the fact of just having people at home with their family for one. Because what do you see now? Everybody's always in a rush all the time. You have the father, it's the classic setup. The white picket fence setup. You got the parents and you got the children. They probably have a few dogs or whatever and a white picket fence. And guess what? They wake up and they want to have what? Whatever they want to eat. And then from then on, they want to have, the dad's rushing to a corporate job that he hates, but he may be making a fair amount of money, but he knows he hates it and it's killing him within and stealing his time from his wife, and the wife who's maybe running a side business or in a similar boat, with corporate stuff. And she don't got time. And they dropping off the children. They just want to be outside, play sports, go to the pool and stuff, but they may be going to school, they may be whatever, you know what I'm saying? And bottom line is everybody's separated, you know what I'm saying? Then finally when they all come home, it's dinner time, right? And then they're not even connecting with themselves too because they just watching the game on TV, and eating whatever. God, I'm not gonna get into all that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, my point is, at least slow down this world and listen to this message for real, because like you have to fully go through it to understand where I'm coming from with this. It's common sense. You'll start to remember who you are as a child, that joyful, youthful spirit, excited about life, excited about being outside, outdoors with friends and everything, not scared, not paranoid, you know what I'm saying? That's what this place has turned into. It's ridiculous, honestly, on both sides. There'll be racist people, black and white. So don't even say, oh, only white people are racist or only black people are racist. There's racists all over the society. That's why I let go of race in general, because that's what's keeping y'all stuck in y'all stupid prison, for real. Straight up. Those who speak the truth stand alone. Straight up. Straight facts. Y'all ever wonder why I'm pretty much always alone in these videos? I'm not always alone or isolated. Of course I have people. But I'm saying, like, in these videos, I come up with some of my best ideas when I'm alone. Not with these just chaotic groups that have nothing good to offer at all. Literally, but just straight evil and are scared to come out at night. But what do? They want to threaten us with weapons, with guns, with knives, with toxic drugs, you know what I'm saying? But they won't, like, put any of that stuff down and come back to who they really are. I remember one time, people were talking about, they're like, oh, that's white. You know what I'm saying? Because I was sharing that I'm a vegan, that I love going to Whole Foods and stuff like that. And guess what? Some people were hating, calling me white for eating ancestral food. This stuff came from Africa. Well, you can talk, we can say wherever country you came from. It don't even matter at all. I don't even care what you say. All I know is mangoes are tropical. Now, whatever we want to call that, whatever location on the world, origin, that's up to you, okay? I'm just saying, bottom line is, mangoes grow out in a tropical environment. Therefore, that's what we're naturally designed for, and etc. You know what I'm saying? Go to Jamaica, see what they eat. They eat coconuts, Go to Where just travel, experience, and connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? Try to see past, learn to see past the illusion, past all this fog in your mind, all this hate in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So where you can see life for what it is, where you can see the world at a formless state before there was buildings like this. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Jungle type of stuff. You know what I mean? Jungle type of vibes. And then you'll understand where I'm coming from with this stuff. That's why I love working from home and being a freelance guy, because it just makes sense. My health has improved tremendously. I'm able to breathe. I used to wake up every day hating, dreading to wake up, because you know why? I was in jobs that I hated, around people that just had nothing to talk about at all, when I was just here wanting to dive deep. You know what I mean? And I thought it was just a joke. You know what I'm saying? I thought, things would get better, this and that, but nah. Over and over again, the same lesson with those jobs, I realized, you know what? No, you selling yourself short at these jobs. You hate it. I remember I had a loved one, a woman who I dated, who I was dating at the time. Every time I would come home from work, bringing them food and flowers and stuff like that, and they was keeping it real. They're like, man, Sky, every time you come home from work, from that job, you look like you hated it, like tremendously. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I did. That's why we've moved on from there. But I'm just saying, if anybody watching, sharing, resonating with this is all from the heart and soul, for real. All these videos are. I might be at 600 videos now. I forgot how many I have. And I'm keeping it going too, because I know it's going to reach some people. I'm aware of it, for real. It's got to, because I'm still standing. Most of these people that y'all competing with and being tough guys and tough girls, they're not going to last long at all. They're probably going to be gone within the next few months, years. They're not going to be here 60 years down the line, 80 years down the line, 20 years down the line. They're not going to be here for that at all, because they're too busy competing for likes, competing for attention, competing for subscribers, competing for money, competing for fame. You know what I'm saying? Literally, these people talk about in their music. They literally, for real. So just let that sit well, let that marinate with y'all, that vegan marination, and just, listen, process it, breathe, relax, and then, feel those natural vibes, for real. Imagine a world where there was like a period of time, for a little while, for a few days, weeks, or whatever, where there's no cars on the road at all. I'm not talking about no zombie apocalypse. I'm not talking about none of that stuff. I'm talking about a peaceful day where finally, people got along, and where people slowed down. They slow down. It's utilities, the water bill, whatever. And just slow down. Imagine that. That's all I'm saying. Imagine that. It's your boy Sky, broadcasting live